So the other day I sent a package to Athens in Greece, which made me remember an incident that took place after a gig we did there last year. And at this point of the story, we've arrived at the airport, we checked in all our bags, gone through the security check, located a gate, and this is when I can hear my name being announced in the speaker system. And I'm asked to go to the complete opposite side of the whole airport where there's a security guy there, and he explains to me that there's an issue with one of the bags. And I tell him that, look, we play in a band, we performed there yesterday, and when we're on stage, we wear these bullet belts. They're not real, they're replicas. Could this perhaps be the reason behind everything? And he tells me that he doesn't know for sure, but that sounds about right. And usually this wouldn't be such a big deal, but since we have a changeover in Brussels, this changes a lot. Because at the time there was this top politician meeting going on in Brussels, and everyone was really sensitive and everything was like on high alert. So he tells me that I'm going to be escorted to the basement part of the airport where a police officer is going to be present when we go through my bag. And the police officer in question, he's like 60 years old. He looks miserable as hell. He does not want to be there at all. So he takes out the 3 bullet belts, and the security guy is kind enough to explain, in Greek, so there's no misunderstanding, that we play in a band and we wear them on stage. And still he was not impressed at all by this, and he keeps going through the bag and he pulls out a crucifix, and for a split second he looks like pleasantly surprised, like, hey, here's my buddy Jesus. Until he realizes that the cross is attached to a chain and it's upside down. And at this point, the security guy is looking at me like, dude, you do not want to piss this guy off. He gets to decide what happens to your bag. So the police officer keeps looking through the bag, and I secretly look at my phone to see how much time there's left before I have to board a plane. And I have to do this secretly because there's pictures of cameras that are crossed over and cell phones with red lines over. So I don't want to take any chances. And the police officer is still looking through the bag, and what does he find? He finds a skeleton bone, which he pulls out, and everyone freaks out. And I immediately have to go like, look, it's not human, it's animal, it's not human. And eventually they all calm down, and he continues to look through the bag. And the security guy is looking a bit nervous, for my sake. And the police officer finds, a desecrated Bible, I think he found there. He finds some pentagrams, spikes, more inverted crosses, and he looks just completely fed up with me, and he probably hopes that I never come back to his country once I go back to Sweden, which I completely understand. Eventually he gives me the option that either they're going to incinerate the bullet belts or they're going to be sent to the police station in Athens and someone can collect them. So I go for the later option. They eventually release me. I run back to the gate. I have like 10 minutes to spare before we have to board a plane. Everyone in the band is laughing their asses off at this traumatic experience I had, and I guess now 1 year later I can see the fun part of it. Yeah, cheers.